Shantaram Rajaram Vankudre, popularly known as V. Shantaram, was born in Kolhapur, Maharashtra in the year 1901. His urge for creative activity led him to Gandharva Natak Company in the year 1914-15. From the theatre to the films was but a step. This he took in 1920. During the 60 years of creative work in the film industry, he has produced 82 films and directed 55 films in different languages. His urge for perfection made him visit Berlin in 1933 to study the technical advancements there. A subject close to his heart has been the production of children's films. No wonder he was the chairman of the Children's Film Society until recently. He has now reached the peak of his creative achievement with the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award. And when he looks back, he must be a satisfied man.
Some people say that how I have reached this peak of glory or whatever it may be. In fact, it is a very interesting process of climbing and trying to reach a peak. When I start a picture, from our point of view and from other points of view also, I feel I will reach this peak and go to the top. And when I reach at the top, after completing the picture, I see beyond, and I find that there are still higher peaks than what I had already climbed. So then again try for the other higher peaks, and the process goes on forever.
With this modesty, he enters the film industry. Is it for material gain, or is it to attain a certain social commitment?
It's a very intricate question. So far as the materialistic view is concerned, I don't want to be a hypocrite and say no. I will say only yes, but a small yes. And the other things, using this medium for social relevance or for in the interest of my country, I will say a big yes for that. When I entered this line, I was a young boy doing all odd jobs and acting, editing and so many other things. At that time I saw one picture produced by my master, Babra Painter. He produced one picture, Sahukari Pash, means Money Lender's News. That Money Lender's News was the most realistic picture I have ever seen up till now. I have not seen any other picture like that. But that has got such a impact on the society and the social reformers, and so many people praise that picture like anything, though it was not a box office success. But at that time I realized for the first time that this medium must be used only for this. At the same time, of course, I would say, when I told you that for the materialistic gains, the small yes, it is absolutely necessary, because this medium is a very costly medium where to invest money. And I haven't got that much money to waste every time. There is two minds of mine who are working. One mind is as a producer and the other mind as a director. When I take such subject of social relevance, my other mind, the producer mind, says, take care of the investment that I am doing. If you will not take care of the investment, there will be no money for your next picture. And another thing also he informed me, if you want to carry this social impact to the majority of the people, then you should see that the picture also entertains to a certain extent. Of course, not at the cost of that social problem. So every time he used to remind me about that. And I used to produce pictures. For instance, in our mythological pictures also, which I was producing before fantasy also. At that time, the Britishers were ruling us. So we indirectly used to put certain things of patriotism and all this thing. But when I first produced a social picture, the picture's name was Duniya Na Mani. The world will not accept it. I wanted to make an experiment. The subject of the picture was this, that injustice has been done for so many years for our women folk. They tolerate it many times. But even then, as they go on tolerating, the men become more dominant. So I wanted to create one woman who will revolt against this injustice.
दरवाजा खोलो।
हरगिज नहीं।
क्या? इसका अंजाम बुरा होगा।
आगाज कब अच्छा था, जो अंजाम बुरा होगा।
मैं फिर कहता हूँ, सीधी तरह से दरवाजा खोल।
मैं भी फिर कहती हूँ, दरवाजा नहीं खोलूंगी।
नहीं खोलेगी?
नहीं।
अच्छा, इसी कमरे में बंद रहे और कुतिया की मौत मार।
बहुत अच्छा, मगर मरने से पहले ये घर भी जलकर खाक होगा।
क्या?
कुछ नहीं। यहाँ चिराग है, चिराग में तेल है। घर जलने में देर नहीं लगेगी। एक घड़ी में चिराग भड़केगा और
काली माता माफ कर, तेरे चरणों में हमारी शरण पत्रिका।
तो फिर जंजीर न लगाओ, नीचे जाके अपनी चाची की पूजा करो और अब फिर मुझे कभी परेशान न करना।
कबूल कबूल लक्ष्मी, तेरी सारी बातें कबूल। किस्मत फूटे जो जलती हुई आग दामन बन।
In this picture, I think I will say the first and perhaps only picture I can say without any background music. Because background music is an artificial thing from the very beginning, I feel, you see. So I used atmospheric sounds for creating a greater impact on the minds of the audience. In this picture, an injustice has been done to a girl. And one of the injustices that she is married to an elderly person. And she keeps her character intact and doesn't cooperate with her husband or anybody on any ground. But while doing this thing, she wanted to create a dread amongst the men that if you'll get a girl like this at your house, take care. And I produced a picture on that line. See. When this picture was released, a girl from Andhra wrote to me that I saw your picture. My husband is very good, but a weak person. So I took the whole thing in my hand and started behaving as you have shown in the picture. And everything has become all right.
The new wave cinema is the subject of intelligent discussion these days. We Shantaram may define it differently, but he made a film on the life of a prostitute as early as in 1939.
हवालदार, जमादार,
थानेदार, सुप्रीडेंट और गरीबों की बद्दुआ लेगा तो राजा भी होगा। हाँ,
गरीब, भोले भालों के खीसे काटने वाले तुम गरीब।
हाँ हाँ, यही तो मैं कहती हूँ। हम खीसे काटते हैं और तुम गले।
ए, तू मुझे क्या समझती है?
पुलिस, और क्या?
ऐसा बदमाश, ये उपकार का बदला।
चार आने के लालच में सब उपकार करते हैं।
भूला जो तुझे बचाया।
भूले? अब न भूलना, भूल सुधारो।
अच्छा, चल चौकी पर, सुधारता हूँ भूल।
चलो ना, डरती हूँ क्या तुम्हारी चौकी से?
मालूम होगा जब टाट की वर्दी पहनकर पत्थर फोड़ेगी।
ये छोड़ो हदर साहब, टाट की वर्दी और पत्थरों से न डराओ। इससे पहले मैंने रास्ते में फटे कपड़ों से दिन काटे हैं।
क्यों?
मजे के लिए। जरी की साड़ी से जी भर गया था। क्यों?
पर अब तो मजा है ना?
बहुत। कोई शराब की कुल्ली हमारे मुंह पर डालता है, कोई अपनी खुशी के लिए हमारे सर के बाल खींचता है और हम ही करके हंसते हैं। क्यों? है ना मजे? मरने के बाद इससे भी ज्यादा।
तो मरना?
सोचती हूँ अगर मौत से न मरी तो तुम हो ना।
चल।
And there, of course, I got that courage of producing that type of pictures. I got one thing, that if you tell the thing in a nice way, not compromising the problem as such, the people take it very nicely.
He anticipated the need for national integration immediately after independence.
Take the theme, this national integration. I am of the firm opinion this national integration is a must for our country. Any diversion from this subject perhaps destroy our whole country, our whole unity, and our whole culture. National integration is concerned, see, in my own way, I am doing it in different ways. I produced one picture on religious integration also, like Git Gaya Patharon Ne. There a girl has been kidnapped by a nurse, and the father was not knowing in what culture she is being brought up. So he wishes, his wishful thinking is that one day that girl will come back and he should make one house for her, and that he takes the cultures of different religious cultures and make one building in which there was a statue of Bharat Mata. That thing also done. When I was a chairman of the Children's Society recently, though I'm a founder member of the Children's Society of our country, recently for the last 6 years, you see, I was a chairman. I introduced this International Film Festival every alternate year. And in those festivals, I used to invite five children from each state to attend this festival, see what is happening, our children brothers, how they are staying in different parts of the world, and they come together. And I used to make them, give them one building where they all stay together. They talk in their own languages. Sometimes they don't understand their languages, but they talk signs and with all these things. And they're so happy. They dine together. They sleep together. Everything was that togetherness has come so much in them. When after 10 or 12 days, when they used to go away, they tell me, sir, please have every international festival something like this, because we know our brother children how they are in different parts of the country. So this also has brought to a certain extent integration. In Calcutta, when this festival was there, you see, the children on their own, they came and stayed, and they took an oath that we are children of India, we are together, we'll remain together, we'll go back to our country, we'll go back to our our states and tell our parents, friends, and everybody that we are one and we will be there. That's all. See, this is different ways that I am trying to do it, you see.
Many may be surprised to know that V. Shantaram acted in as many as 23 films. Is it necessary for a good director to be a good actor, or vice versa?
It is absolutely not necessary that a director must be an actor or actor must be a director. But it helps. As I acted in so many pictures in the beginning, also I edited so many pictures. These things help me to be what you call a good director. When at the time of Dr. Courtney's Amar Kahani, when I decided to produce that picture, I wanted to have similar faces, those five doctors, one Dr. Atal, Dr. Mukherjee, and so many others. But I was trying to find out who should be the Dr. Courtney's. And I was not getting any similar face. Of course, it is very difficult to get any similar face, but slight shade of that, what you call jhak, should be there of that face. And while I was thinking over it, once I was shaving myself in the mirror, I saw And when I saw, I think here is Dr. Courtney's. So I thought that I can be Dr. Courtney's face. So I decided to work in that picture as Dr. Courtney's.
जिंदगी 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 कोई सपना नहीं जिंदगी कोई सपना नहीं जिंदगी 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 जिंदगी
काम करे और गाते जाए हिलमिल सखियाँ काम करे और गाते जाए हिलमिल सखियाँ एक दूजे का हाल बनाए हिलमिल सखियाँ हिलमिल सखियाँ
ओ घर में छुपना नहीं ओ घर में छुपना नहीं आओ मैदान में देश के ध्यान में काम करते चलो नाम करते चलो काम करते चलो नाम करते चलो नाम करने का ही नाम है जिंदगी 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 कोई सपना नहीं जिंदगी.
Then there is another picture which I had to act. There is one Do Aankhein Bara Haath, 2 eyes, 12 hands. In that picture, I wanted the character of the jailer who wanted to make an experiment to rehabilitate the murderers and killers who have got the lifelong imprisonment. There, I thought it over to get an actor for that. But generally, I've seen when an actor plays a role and the picture is shown on the screen, the people take the name of the actor and say, oh, this so actor X is very nice, so an actor and Z is very nice. But here I wanted to take away that identity of actors from the this picture. So because I was not acting in many pictures, so I felt like I doing it that role. Actually, there is another thing also. I wanted to a person who will live that role.
तुम मेरी जान लेने आए हो. शंकर, तुझे गोली चलानी आती है ना? इसमें और 6 गोलियां बाकी हैं. चला मुझ पर गोली. उसे बोली, अब मैं जीना नहीं चाहता. मेरी जिंदगी बेकार हो गई. मैंने सुबह ही सुपरिंटेंडेंट साहब से कहा था कि ये सब सुधर गए हैं, इंसान हो गए हैं, लेकिन मैं इनको बिल्कुल सुधार न सका. मैं नाकामयाब रहा, पूरी तरह से नाकामयाब. इस नाकामयाबी को लेकर मैं दुनिया को मुंह नहीं दिखा सकता, हरगिज मुंह नहीं दिखा सकता. शंकर, चला गोली.
शंकर, फेंक दे पिस्तौल.
Steeped in the Indian traditions, breathing the air of social and national commitment, yet he was responsive to change, to the advancement in technology which was sweeping the modern film industry.
Fortunately for me, I have worked almost all the departments in Indian cinema. I was doing a lot of odd jobs, but my main jobs were acting, editing, and because I had a practical knowledge of these two things, I was able to do direction in a much better way. Though absolutely it is not necessary for a director to have all these things together, but it helps a lot. For instance, I will tell you one example. Many people know that famous Vrindavan garden dance in Jhanak Jhanak Pailbaji. Actually, I took different shots, too many different shots of different actions of the dances. Of course, in the rhythm. And I got the whole lot here in Bombay. And while working on the editing table, I created the dance actually on the editing table.
No wonder then that many national and international awards were heaped upon him. Which makes one wonder, has the Phalke Award come too late to him?
There is a story behind it, very interesting story. When this Phalke Award was introduced, or they were going to introduce, they wrote to the Federation of Film India and different film associations of our country. The first award, to whom the first award should go. And all these associations, they suggested my name unanimously. But afterwards, it was announced that this first award was given to Mrs. Devika Rani. was also a very good artist. Then next year again they approached me and asked me whether I would like to accept that award. I told them, now you have started giving these awards to retired people. At that time Devakaranya was retired. When you have started to give these awards to retired people, let this award go to retired people because they are in need of more this help than anybody else.
Does he intend to retire?
I am not still retired. I am producing pictures, I am doing direction, editing and so many other things.
If not, what will be his next milestone?
I have produced so many pictures. I have directed so many pictures. I have acted in so many pictures. And I am still trying to produce and direct pictures because I am not satisfied at all from the pictures that I have produced. People say that that picture is very good, this picture is very good. But my soul, my inner self says, still you are making mistakes. Still you are not having a perfect picture. And that's why for so many years I am in search of perfection of art. A picture which will satisfy me. You may be knowing, or you may not be knowing also, when I see the first trial of my picture, I am the most miserable person in the world. Though my people who sit along with me and they say it's a wonderful picture or good picture, even in myself I said I have made a lot of mistakes in this. I have developed certain scene in such a way. Why have not done it like that? Why have not taken so much time also? Every time you see, at the end of the picture when I see the trial, I tell you my whole night to see I go, don't laugh at me, but see I weep actually. And that's that the quest, that the search of perfection. For the search of perfection, I am trying my level best for all these years. And I am going to do that. People ask me also when you are going to retire. See, it's retire. I don't understand the meaning of retire. Retire is not in my hand. Retire is in the hands of that powerful, Adi Shakti, what we call it. I will retire only on that day when I see a perfect art picture. Art picture means not nowadays the art word you use it in such a common way. When I will do that. For this, I was all the while thinking for so many years that what sort of subject will satisfy me. And while thinking, I got an idea on one day while I was writing my autobiography, and I wanted to end that autobiography. And I was thinking over it, what should be my last picture. For so many months, I couldn't find the subject. But ultimately I found out that Mahabharata, not Mahabharata which is already there, but I want to produce pictures on Uttar Mahabharata, means when Mahabharata is completed after that, how a human being is developed in all these years. Even I will go to the extent of having next 100 years or so, where the human being will be also there. I personally feel after producing such picture, perhaps I will get the satisfaction of perfection. But what a thing, you see, it is a period of about 5,000 to 6,000 years. Even then I have calculated that thing also, that each episode will contain about 100 years. So I will have to produce about 50 to 60 episodes, which will take, I know, it will take about 40 to 50 years more. I have determined to live for that period. That means about 158 to 160 years. If I will not be able to live for that period, and if this body will be worn out, I will go down in the ocean of this art, cinema art, and again I will come up with all fresh new body and again I'll start working over that. This process will go on forever.
Yes, indeed. This body will return to the various elements of which it is composed. But the spirit is immortal. And as long as V. Shantaram can control his mind with determination that he commands for the search for excellence, we are sure that the body will respond to attain greater heights of artistic achievement.
मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ऐसे हो हमारे करम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम ऐ मालिक तेरे बंदे हम बड़ा कमजोर है आदमी बड़ा कमजोर है आदमी अभी लाखों है इसमें कमी पर तू जो खड़ा है दयालु बड़ा तेरी कृपा से धरती थमी दिया तूने हमें जब जन्म तू ही झेलेगा हम सबके गम